Holy moly, am I excited for this video. 6 months of hardcore love, attention, clarity, and focus really can change the course of your entire life. I did an Instagram post the other day where literally I just shared a quote and I had so many responses to this. This resonated with so many of you. Literally, I've never had a post saved so many times before. And I actually ended up having a conversation with a friend of mine, Rachel, you know her channel, Rachel Lee, and we decided that we wanted to actually really take this challenge to the next level. I think it's so easy to just say, I'm gonna change my life in 6 months, but when you don't put any systems or structure around it, it ends up becoming just this lofty dream. And so what Rachel and I decided to do is not only hold each other accountable to change our lives over the next 6 months, but to actually make this a community effort. So I am going to be doing a series of videos here on my channel, videos like this, as well as vlogs where I document the journey of me really setting my life up over the next 6 months. But additionally to that, Rachel and I will be doing a lot of stuff over on Instagram, lives and little challenges, and we've got so many other surprises in store to really hold each other accountable, but hold you accountable as well if you do want to join this 6-month challenge. By the time you're seeing this video, it is the start of July, or if you're seeing it later, don't worry, it doesn't necessarily need to be 6 months. It can be as many months as you like. Really, the primary intention of this is to focus on yourself, to be a little bit selfish for the next 6 months, to focus on your goals, to focus on your personal development, to focus on your self-worth. And then hopefully the intention behind that is that beyond these 6 months, you've really set yourself up in a good position to become the very best version of yourself, living the life that you desire. If you would like to participate in this challenge, or if you would like to just follow along with my journey, make sure you are subscribed to this channel, subscribe to Rachel's channel, as well as follow both of us on Instagram for all of the live details. Let's jump straight in. As many of you know, I have had a huge life transition over the past 6 months. And whilst mentally I am in a good space, no huge life transition comes without its challenges. I want to be totally open and vulnerable, and although I will say that I really do feel happy with my decision, of course, all of the things that come with such a big life change really can, affect you mentally. And I, to be fair, wasn't making the best decisions for myself over the past 6 months as I was kind of transitioning into this new life. And I've spoken about this in recent vlogs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, I'm talking about my breakup. I spoke about it in a few videos ago. My 7-year-long relationship, I did end it. And I've kind of just been self-sabotaging a bit. I'm not gonna lie. And I got to the point, that dark night of the soul point, if you will, where you're just like, screw it, I'm taking no more. I've got to do something about this. So for me, this desire to make this change has actually been birthed out of realizing that I haven't been prioritizing myself, taking care of myself, or focusing on my goals. You do not have to be in a position of the dark night of the soul or a total breakdown to want to change your life. You might feel like you're going along okay in life, but there is a burning desire in you that you want something more. One thing I've realized specifically through this whole transition is that so many women are settling for fine. They have a life that they can describe as, it's not that bad. No more. I want women to be living a life that is absolutely extraordinary. And that is the intention behind this challenge particularly. I want you to set yourself up so that you can have not just a fine life, but an extraordinary life. Now, the last little thing that I have to say is that this video is actually sponsored. Oh my gosh, this is the first time that I've had a sponsored video in years. And honestly, I don't take sponsorships because I pretty much self-fund this channel, but this particular business I love so much. I don't think there's another business out there that I believe in more than I believe in this business, or that I love more than I love this business, because this video is actually being sponsored by my business. So actually what I have done is I have decided that I'm going to be sponsoring my own videos. I got the idea off Lior Alexandra, and basically this video is going to be sponsored by my Clarity and Confidence bundle. This is a bundle of 2 of my most successful courses, Clarity and Community, as well as the Killer Confidence course. If you are someone who is really struggling to feel confident enough in themselves to take action on your goals, this is going to be the bundle for you. It's not only going to help you figure out your relationships note to self so that you can feel more confident taking action. But in clarity and community, it also helps you to figure out what you want to do with your life, figure out what you want to do with your online presence, your business, and then start reverse engineering the strategies you need to take to get there, as well as teach you those first steps in building a community. So I have a special discount for this bundle just for YouTube subscribers. I will leave all of the information linked down below. Definitely jump into that one. Okay, I've definitely rambled enough. Let's jump into the video. All right, so let's talk a little bit about why it should be a 6-month challenge and why you should actually want to change your life over the course of 6 months. I personally believe that there is too much content out there that gives the false impression that change is easy. So many people are promoting these overnight success stories, whether it be with their health, their business, or their finances, but particularly around personal development. And what I've realized as a coach is that so many people are under the belief that their life is going to change overnight. You're going to read enough books, consume enough content that one day you're just going to magically wake up and either be an ultra productive or ultra focused or ultra healthy person. This is just not the way that humans change. Humans actually need processes and periods of integration, a way to recalibrate to their new habits and their new life. Something that I love is the analogy of climbing Mount Everest. You know, a lot of people are just desiring to jump right to the top of the mountain. Do you know that if you just magically were able to just jump right to the top of Mount Everest, say for example, that you would die? When people climb Mount Everest, they go up, then they go down a bit to recalibrate, and then they go up and down and up and down and up and down until they reach the top. This is because you absolutely need time to make mistakes. You absolutely need time to adjust to this new life that you're building, and you definitely need time to recalibrate. You are going to make mistakes. There are days where stuff is just gonna feel like it's not working. You need time to be able to adjust to this new version of yourself. You need time to be able to experiment with the strategies that you are using to better yourself. You can't just sit down after a video like this and say, yep, this, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my life, and then tomorrow go off and be absolutely perfect at it. It's not reality. As much as you see people are online that talk about these fast results, they are like unicorns. It is very, very uncommon for people to have such quick change in their life. You know, you've probably heard the quote or the concept that habit formation takes like 60 or 90 or 120 days. I don't know, it changes every time I read about it, to be honest. But my personal belief is that regardless of what the actual time frame is, it does take time. Now you have to go easy on yourself as well. You will make mistakes. If you decide to be healthier, you probably will have junk food or miss a workout. If you decide to get your financial position in check, you probably will have moments of weakness where you spend on unnecessary things. This is all a part of the process. Failure is a part of the process. But I think where we go wrong is we say to ourselves, this month I'm going to change my life, and a month goes very quickly. And so as we see the days disappearing, we feel worse and worse and worse about ourselves to the point where we give up trying altogether. So give yourself an appropriate amount of time. Maybe it's longer than 6 months, maybe it's 12 months. The time duration doesn't actually matter. All that matters is that you are giving yourself enough space to recalibrate and experiment along the way. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, in part 2, what I really want to talk about is how to actually go about changing your life. And I've broken this down into 2 sections. The first section is the mindset that you need to actually change your life, and the second section is actually the action that you need to start taking to change your life. When it comes to mindset, the first thing is that you have to take radical responsibility. Nobody else is going to change your life for you. Another misconception that I think a lot of us have is that somebody is coming to save us. Or for a lot of women specifically, they have the misconception that somebody is going to come and give us permission. You do not need permission to change your life. And you do not need to rely on anyone else to change your life. You are in control of your destiny. As corny as that does sound, when you truly take responsibility for yourself and the changes that you want to make in your life, it is one of the most liberating things ever. This particular topic is something that I go to in way more detail in my Killer Confidence course, taking radical responsibility and building inner authority so that you can take action. But honestly, just to mention here, if you are going to partake in this challenge, the first thing that you need to do is take 100% responsibility 100% of the time. The second thing, and this is a mindset shift that really helped me along my journey of changing my life, is that it's not going to look like what you think it's going to look like. We see so much stuff on social media, whether it be on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, and these things absolutely can be a positive. I get so inspired by my Pinterest board. Honestly, this is like the number one thing that I do to get inspired for how I want to change my life. However, what I've come to realize is that even though these vision board exercises and using social media to get inspired does really help me to motivate myself into action, you've got to realize that they are just a snapshot. Your change is not going to look like you jumping from the life that you live now into your Pinterest board. It is going to be a process, a journey. Some days are messy, some days are ugly, hard, challenging. It's not going to look like this perfect journey where you just magically, like I said before, one day wake up and everything is different. It takes time. You've got to be okay with it being messy, challenging yourself, going through the difficult times. But the most important thing is just that you dedicate yourself not to giving up, and that you give up the idea that it's going to look perfect, because it never ever will. And the third mindset thing that I do have to say is that none of this is going to work if your intention is weak. If you don't have a solid reason for the goals that you set or the actions that you set for this challenge, if you don't have a solid why behind the specific things that you decide to change over the course of the next 6 months, I promise you, at the first sign of weakness, you will give up. So many people are giving up on themselves, their health goals, their business goals, their life goals, simply just because they have no idea why they truly want these things. If you don't have a really hardcore, personally associated reason as to why you want to make the changes that you're going to decide to make, it was so easy for you to procrastinate, to self-sabotage. Every single time a challenge comes up for me, the number one thing that I do is I revert back to my why. I revert back to why do I want this thing to change, or this thing to happen, or for me to achieve this goal. And as much as it doesn't take away the sting of the challenging time, it at least recalibrates my focus. So make sure that your intention behind the changes are really deeply personal, and they absolutely set your soul on fire. Don't just try to get healthy because social media tells you that you should look a certain way. Don't just try to get rich because entrepreneurship is like the buzz thing at the moment, and that's apparently what everyone's doing with their time. Do it for you. You want to make money? Incredible. Why do you want to make money? You want to get strong and healthy? Why do you want to get strong and healthy? Make sure you've got a solid personal, I cannot say that with enough emphasis, personal intention behind your change, or else it would just be simply too difficult. So now we're down to the action part. This is like the juice of the video, if you will. So I have 6 steps to help you to set yourself up and to support you along this 6-month journey. The first thing is, of course, you have to get clear on what it is you want. What specific areas of life do you want to change? What do you want the outcome to look like? How do you want to feel? Ask yourself all of these questions. If you really don't know, if you're really struggling, then I definitely suggest to jump into the bundle, specifically the Clarity and Community program, because this is my course where I help people to figure out exactly what they want their life and business to look like. Maybe you're not an entrepreneur, but it will still be helpful for you. I go through many strategic exercises to help you figure out what it is that you want. But regardless, for the purpose of this video, make sure you get really specifically clear. I'll let you in on what I'm going to be focusing on over the next 6 months. I'm focusing on my health. I really want to support myself as a Muay Thai fighter. I would absolutely love to get myself to a position with my physique, with my fitness, and with my fighting that I could actually go on and do some amateur fights, because that is a big goal of mine. I also want to grow my net worth, not just necessarily my business income, but my personal net worth. I have a figure in mind of $500,000. And again, I know my business makes more than that, but for me personally, I would like to get my personal net worth to $500,000 in the next 6 months. And then the other thing that I want to be focusing on as well is some goals that I have in my business, but maybe I'll talk about that in a future video. Just get really specifically clear on what you want and why you want it. The next thing is you have to reverse engineer a strategy. You cannot simply just sit down and say, I want this thing or I want that thing, and not actually have clear action steps to getting there. If you are here and you want to be here, all you've got to do is take the steps to get there. The best way to figure out what steps that you should take is to start thinking about reverse engineering. You already know where you desire to be. Find people who are there and figure out what they did to get there. That's the easiest thing. That is how most creations come to life. When people develop products, quite often they are reverse engineered. So get a good idea of where you want to be, and then figure out how somebody else got there, because that is going to give you a clear path for how you can get there yourself. The next thing you've got to do is you have to work on your worth. Why most people don't change their life is simply because they don't feel like they deserve the things that they desire. If you don't have this internal sense of self-love, this great relationship with yourself, an internal sense of self-integrity and self-respect, change will be even more difficult than it already is. You have to work on building your relationship with yourself, and this is something I'll be talking a lot more about over the course of this 6 months, because that's something I'll be working on a lot myself as well. But what do you need to do to feel confident, to have more respect for yourself, to love yourself more? Because when you love yourself more than you love anything else on this planet, you will want to do what's in the best interest for you, and that is going to support you in changing your life. Okay, so the next thing, which is super, super practical, is at the start of this 6 months, you want to have a day where you set yourself up for success. This is where you start booking things in. You know, if you are saying that you want to get healthier and you want to get stronger, go find yourself a gym or a martial arts studio. If you are saying that you want to start growing your business, you know, go start thinking about the actions that you need to take, put them in your calendar, make it tangible. It's so easy to just sit there and get the vision and get the action steps and never actually take action. Get really crystal clear on your calendar, set it up for success, start putting in reoccurring events into your calendar, invest in yourself in programs if you need to, or gyms, or whatever it may be, depending on the life area that you want to change. If you want to get your finances in order, sit down and actually get your bank account in check, have a savings folder, have a play money folder, have a bills folder, bank account, you know what I mean? Get yourself set up for success as much as you possibly can. I'm saying take the whole entire day and just set yourself up for the next 6 months. Do everything that you need to do to support this growth journey. The next thing that you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna have a weekly check-in. I mean, you can do this weekly or you can do this monthly. I prefer to do it weekly. I do it every single Sunday night, where you actually go and you ask yourself, like, how did I do this week in accordance to the action steps that I have committed to taking over this 6 months? And if I haven't done so well, or even if I have done well, how can I do better next week? What do I have to change? Remember how in the beginning I said it's all about experimenting and recalibration, and that it's not gonna look like what you think it's gonna look like? It's not gonna look perfect. You are going to mess up. I promise you, just as much as I promise you that if you stick to it, you'll make it happen. Messing up is a part of the process, but in order to recalibrate correctly, you need to have a process of checking in. So whether that's every single week, or like I said, every single month, for me, I prefer weekly, to actually check in. If I haven't been doing that well, that's fine, but I've still got plenty of time. I've still got plenty of time. What can I do to make next week better? What can I do to make tomorrow better? It's all about just accepting whatever's happened. It is what it is. And then asking yourself, how can I actually get better moving forward? Talking about moving forward, the 6th point that I have is you've got to connect with the vision every single day. It's too easy to just let the day slip away. Hands up in the comments if you feel like your life is slipping away. Because I felt like that for such a long time. Day after day would roll into week after week, into month after month. And it's like, without the intention of who I actually wanted to be and how I wanted to live my life, it just felt like there were a lot of days and they all kind of meshed into one, especially after 2020. So in order to stay focused, to be able to actually change your life, have some type of practice to connect with your vision every single day. For me, it's as simple as going on Pinterest. I have a Vibey Life Pinterest board, which I will link down below, and I pin things to this board every single day. Why? Because it helps me to connect with the changes that I desire to make for my life. It helps me to connect with who I want to be and how I want it to look. It doesn't exactly look like that, but it inspires me, it motivates me, it gets me into action. So maybe for you it's Pinterest, writing down your goals, visualization. That doesn't really work for me. I don't have a great imagination. I don't think so anyway. Maybe I do. I don't know, whatever. Pinterest works for me. There's so many ways that you can visualize your goals, get connected visually to your goals, but do it every single day. It can take you 2 minutes, but make sure you do it every day. This is something that is going to be ongoing. If you would like to be a part of this challenge, please make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Please make sure you go check out Rachel, but specifically where most of it is going to be happening is, of course, over on Instagram. If you want like the daily updates for how I'm personally going in this pursuit of changing my own life, as well as all the community things that Rachel and I are going to do, please do come follow me over on Instagram. And of course, we'll leave Rachel's linked below as well. I will leave the bundle linked below as well. I'm so honored that I'm being sponsored by the Erin May Henry Company. Oh, what a dream. Just what a dream. That's when you know you made it, you know? When you get sponsored by your favorite company. But honestly, this bundle is going to change your life. It's such a powerful one. We've got hundreds and hundreds of students in these programs and they absolutely love them. So if you just want that little bit of extra support, figuring out what to do with your life, getting the confidence to be able to take action and building your community, specifically if you are wanting to do something online, get into the bundle, use the discount code that I've provided below. All right, this video is like the longest video I've ever made in my entire life. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're still here. And if you are the real MVP. You are the people who are dedicated. And I love you for that. I really do. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.